Okay, it looks like we've got 5 o'clock straight up. Good evening. Good evening. All right, guys, if everyone is ready, I believe Mo's ready, so we can get our training started. And my name is Sandra Bowman. I am part of the Elite Travel team, and I'm most happy to be here and hosting for this evening. Um, Lakisha, as we know her, Mo Thomas is going to be our presenter this afternoon. She is going to be teaching us about travel advisor growth training. So something we all always have room for. So if Mo's ready, take
I'm
it away,
ready.
Mo.
Good
Okay,
evening,
girl.
everyone. Thank you for joining us to this evening, this afternoon. Um, I am Lakisha Mo. I've been with Evolution since October 2018. I actually started just for the perks. I was a secret agent for 2.5 years. Then my sponsor, Nina, was like, girl, it's time for you to get out the shadows and come to the forefront. Because I was already team building, I was already booking. So, I just needed to push. So here I am now. So hopefully this will help you grow your business. It's some of the things that I have done over the years. Some of the things I forget to do now. Just being transparent. So with our overview, hopefully you'll be able to learn how to track travel clients. You'll be able to utilize social media for your influence. You'll be able to document your client experiences with different systems, showing you that, marketing is key, consistency is key, and recruiting and your team growth if you are team building. If you're not team building, you're just leaving money on the table. So why do that? We're all here to make money. So let's make money in every avenue that is possible. First thing we're going to talk about is the different types of travel brand. So the first one is, you have your solo travel. These are the travelers that is looking for experiences where they can rest, recharge, reconnect with nature or themselves. Then you have your luxury travelers, those that are looking for a more upscale experience. They don't want to go to like the budget hotels, whatever have you. Then you have the group trips. So these group trips can be corporate, family, girls or guys trips. They're looking for fun, and if it's corporate, of course, they need that business expertise thrown in there. Then you have your couples escapes. So this allows the couples to, reconnect, rekindle, restart some flames that was there in the beginning, and just so they can become one again. Next, you have your family vacations. So these are multi-generational trips. You need to make sure when you're booking these trips that you have activities for all ages that are involved. So be sure to get the details when someone says, I want to do a family reunion. I want to do um, a trip with my grandparents and my siblings. You need to make sure you get the ages because you don't want to plan activities where you're excluding the grandparents or vice versa, because I'm a grandma. And sometimes my sisters say I do too much. And then you also have your destination weddings. And that is self-explanatory. But that is very, really important because if you have a destination wedding, you need to make sure that your package includes everyone that is going. So if it's, they want an adults only property, but Aunt Sally and Uncle Ben has two kids, you need to select a brand that has a family friendly side that will allow those at the family friendly side to come over at least for the wedding day so that they can still be part of the big celebration. So now I want you to think back. Think back to who was your first client. Throw that in the chat for me. I was my first client because, as I told you earlier, I simply was in the business for the perks. Me and my line sister were just going all over like it was nothing. And my mom was like, "What are you doing? Like, y'all traveling too much." And I was like, "Oh, yeah, by the way, I'm a travel agent." So then that is actually how I got my second one because everyone Started noticing I was traveling too long and too much. And my other line sister was like, we need to do a mission trip for the sorority. Delta is going to Jamaica and we need you to book it. So that's how I got my first group booking. So I see Myra said her son. Nicole says, Tracy said it herself. Jessica said her mom. Derek says him and his friends. Sandra, oh, you had strangers. You go, girl. And then Frontline Freedom says my brother-in-law. All right. Tina K, one of your BFFs. I know that's right. Cassie, my BFF was already traveling with me every time I went somewhere. So how did they become your client? I just shared with you my experience, how I got my first group. So think back and then also think about if you are still doing things to engage those individuals that you have previously booked travel experiences for. And what are you doing then that you're not doing now? That's real important. And I'm very transparent. Some of the things that I am not doing like I used to do was my marketing. I am not posting as much. Some know, some don't know. I had some health challenges, so I kind of let that be a crutch, but now I kicked that crutch from under me and I am going full speed ahead. I'm not 100%, but that doesn't matter. We have to get out of this business what we put into it. And what are you going to do now that you didn't do then? Put that in the chat for me. All right, Ava, you're going to place yourself out there, and we're all going to be each other's accountability partners. So pay attention to what we're putting in the chat. And it's okay to say, hey, sis, hey, brother, you said that you was going to put yourself out there. How are you going to do that? Myra says she's going to be more consistent. Sandra, share more of my experiences. I know that's right because we all have pictures in our phone that we can actually post on social media. They don't know that there are pictures from 2015, 2016, or 17. Go out there, post your pictures, and relive that experience. Go on TikTok and do AutoCut and then do a voiceover with those pictures from the past. They don't know that you didn't just come back. Only you know that. And Tiffany says she's gonna put herself out there more. She's good on social media. Trey says she's going to engage more with my audience. Okay, so we have some people that we can help be accountable. So, with your luxury marketing mindset, you have luxury clients that respond to experience-driven marketing. So we need to focus on the destination and the experience that they ask for. We need to sell experiences, not trips. We are not trip bookers. We are travel advisors, travel concierge. So we are selling the experience. Make sure you are including everything in your package. If they say, hey, Trey, I'm trying to go to Aruba next September. So you're not just going to book their hotel and their flight. You're going to book their hotel flight and their insurance, and then also build in some excursions. You can build it in and they can say, oh, no, I'm not interested in it. Or you can have that conversation up front. I've done it both ways. It works both ways because some people do not think about their excursions until later on. But if you build it in earlier, you can let them know that, hey, you'll be able to build this in. You'll be able to pay this over time with the rest of your trip. You don't have to worry about getting to the destination and then allowing them to book it at the tour operator desk. You also have your Viator link. Send them the link. Every trip that I book, I send them the link and say, hey, these are the excursions that are going on for the time period that you were there. Let me know which one you would like so that we can get them booked for you. So when you show up, all you're going to do is start your vacation immediately. We're going to also focus on the destination. So once you send that quote out, start posting about it. Utilize your social media. Make sure there is some type of emotion and feeling in your post that you're actually sharing with your audience, because you're posting it for that one trip, but that trip can also build. I've had multiple groups where I've had more than one group inside of the group because I've been posting about the Aruba experience. This is my current one that I have. I have two young ladies. One's 40, one's 45. They're underneath the same group contract number, and they're both going to Aruba to celebrate their birthday. They're actually born 2 days apart. So it really worked out. So just make sure you're posting and make sure you put some type of feeling or emotion in these posts that you're doing. Make sure you want to share like the lifestyles. Find out how they are currently living and how they want to live here. Like I have a sister. She's laid back when we're stateside. But when we're in destination, she's the party animal. So you got to get to know your clients and don't be afraid to ask them questions. Get to know them because we're not just booking travel, we're selling experiences and we want to have that one-on-one relationship with them. And then you want to ensure that when they come back, that they're able to tell a story. Because if they're coming back telling a story, then that story can trigger you generations of business later on. I have one client and now I'm booking one, two, three, five people in her family. Five different people that they're not traveling together. It's just because she came back and she talked about her first trip with me, and then here come her sister, and then it was her mother and two of her aunts out in California. So just make sure when you're booking experiences and you're booking stuff that they'll be able to come back and talk about. The storytelling will get you clients. So with your social media, make sure you're posting stuff that inspires travel. You don't want to just be the travel advisor that posts, hey, book with me. Hey, I got this trip going on. You want to have something inspirational. You can do a walkthrough of the resort by not even visiting the resort. A lot of the resorts now have 3D images that you can utilize. You can do their virtual walkthroughs. Get to know the destination, get to know the resort yourself, and then talk about it. Do a voiceover on a still photo. Utilize your resources. And then use the reels that the companies, the agencies are posting and make it into your own. You can add a voiceover to that. You can also talk about things such as packing tips. Because packing for Jamaica is not the same for packing for Alaska. I like to talk about and share with my cousins as well as some of my clients. I've went on a 10-day cruise. I had one carry-on in my little crossbody bag. And the person that was traveling was like, how do you have all your clothes in there? There's no way in the world you have enough clothes. I actually had more clothes than she did because I did the military role where she just folded her clothes out. So it's just the little things like that that you can talk about. And then, pick a different excursion to talk about while they're in destination. Hype it up, as the kids say. So with your content strategy, you should be posting things that includes, inspiration, educate your audience on the destination. Throw in a personal story. If you don't have one, talk to someone that you know that has been there. Share some of your clients' personal stories and just reference it. And then don't be afraid to utilize a promotion. Earlier, Sandra was talking about how we are recruiting with a promotion. You could do the same with your clients. You can do a referral. You refer 50 people. I'm sorry, you refer two people to me, you get $50 off your next trip. Or you can do just, a promotion of, I'm gonna send you a 25 gift card for the most engagement on this post throughout the week. I like to provide my clients with the white glove experience. So I am with my clients from the very beginning to the very end. Before they travel, after I send the quote and they secure their deposit, I'm there every step of the way. I have a series of emails that I send them. While they're in destination, they automatically get an email from me saying, hey, I'm just checking in on you. I want to know how your arrival process went. I get responses from them quite often because they don't expect to hear from their advisor while they're in destination. And then 3 days later, I'll send them another email saying, just checking in. This is your reminder to go out there and If they got to do an ED card, to do your ED card, or this is your reminder to ensure that your transfer has been secured and get the time, just touch base with the desk again. And then after travel, I send a follow-up email thanking them for being my client, and then I ask them to do a review. So the next few slides is just showing some of the emails that I send. The first one is me introducing myself. This was for a group, a 50th birthday party, gave them all the information, and this is what I sent to the list of individuals. And then I had a follow-up email letting them know the last day to, lock in the rate. I always build in wiggle room. If you do not do that, I would suggest that. If the final payment is due April the 5th, I tell my clients March 31st because there's always something that can pop up in life that can cause a delay. So just make sure you build that in for yourself. Then if I do not book their flights for the group, I ask them, I have a series for the flight information. I have a series if they've missed their payments. I do not assess a late fee. Some agents do, I do not. But I just send them a reminder, say, hey, your balance is outstanding, and I need to know if you're going to be able to make this payment by whatever date is due. I also send them emails letting them know if the resort has an app. And then I tell them what they can do on the app. Um, I like to send this to them to ensure that one, they know what's going on throughout their time there. And then if they have any questions or run into any issues prior to them getting in destination, I can help them through that. This was an entry exit interview. Lord, interview. Email that I sent this young man went to Turkey. So I had to make sure he had all his ducks in a row. And then this is where I kind of like hype up the destination, the trip. I start with 7 days. 7 days out, I just say, hey, you got 1 week before you hit tropical paradise. And then I go from day to day. I send something every day. I have an email series. I utilize Travel Joy. There's Travelify, there's Turn. There's a multiple CRM systems that you can use, but you can build these emails to go out to your clients. And that's all I do. And then here's the arrival process. I send them the excursion and activities email again once they're in destination, just as a reminder. And then your trip check-in. So you can utilize and send just about everything to your clients. And they really will appreciate it. One, because it looks like you're doing constant communication because you have the schedule built. You can take the standard schedule and all of those CRMs and add to it. That's all I did. And then here's my welcome home. And then I asked them to click that link to send in their referral. And just remember that referral can also mean retention. So with your referral strategy, you want to make sure you're building in the wow factor first. Happy clients equal new clients. Focusing on personalizing the trip for them. Focus on some surprise touches, a welcome note in the room. Those are free. You can send them a travel checklist, a packing guide. You can also contact the resort and ask them what special touches you can have. I've sent strawberries and champagne. I've sent a cake for a birthday. You just need to reach out to the property and they have a list of things. Some things are free and some things are not. And then, make sure your communication is fast. Don't have your clients reaching out to you and then you're waiting 48 to 72 hours later. If they contact you, provide them that service because you are their advisor. And just make sure you're doing some follow-up. Some of the small touches that has triggered referrals for me was my Bon Voyage email, the very customized itineraries. I have did some surprise excursion recommendations and I've also paid for an excursion for a young lady just because of the things that she was going through while she was taking the trip. So I just wanted her, to get on her healing journey. And then that welcome home message. And just remember, when a client feels like they're taken care of, they naturally tell others. We want those referrals to keep coming in. Repeat business is my best friend. And don't feel bad about asking them for referrals, at the right moment. So you can ask them when a client first books, like, hey, Sandra, I know it was just you and your husband going, but do you think there's any other couples that you would like to invite? And then maybe y'all can turn this into a couples trip. Like build on it. Use those stepping blocks to build on to the package that you already have. Right before travel is a good time. When they return is definitely a good time, especially if they had a good experience. I've actually had two sisters that had a bad experience, not on my part, on the DMC that they used outside of the one that I recommended, but I still followed up with them. I still reached out to that DMC company to see how we could rectify it. And they did get a small refund. It wasn't a lot, but that little bit of me doing that little extra, they're repeat clients now. And then just follow up after every trip, no matter what. Follow up is key. Ask them to tag you on their social media if they're posting about it. Ask, can you tag them in the pictures that they send you? Ways that you can encourage your referrals is incentives. You can create your own loyalty rewards perks, and then you can treat them to something like the VIP experience. Some of the referral pipelines that you use is like a $25 or $100 travel credit. The VIP experience is normally at the airport lounges, so you can offer to pay for it. You can offer to pay a part of it. You can give out gift cards, and you can also create a travel accessory gift for them. All my clients get the little bag that I create that has just the normal toiletries, just in case they forget any. Because I've had some clients that's like, "Oh yeah, I forgot that. Thanks, I didn't bring my sunscreen," or, you know, I put the Tremadine in there so that if they get nauseous on the plane. It's just the little things that you do that will get you repeat clients, and then offer them a resort credit on their next trip. So turn your social media into a referral engine. Use those travel photos that you already have. Let it create curiosity for them. Use posts similar to this, like a client spotlight. I just sent the Johnson family to Aruba. Who's next? That's how I got the double booking for my Aruba group. You can do an engagement post. If you could take one trip this year, where would it be? And then you can also do a referral call to action, such as, someone is planning a honeymoon or a group trip, tag them below. And then you can actually, once they tag them, you get to say, "Hey, Derek, I see you was tagged above. If you need any assistance, you can give them your number. You can ask them to DM you." I normally put my Google Voice number out there because it's a Google Voice number. I use it for my business, so why not? And then you can partner with some strategic referral sources. They don't have your referrals do not have to come from your family or your clients. You can use things like your HOA. I actually got someone talk to me today. So, and then you can use like the Chamber of Commerce. I know Maggie is doing wellness travel now as a niche. So she has partnered with a plethora of organizations to get her referrals up and running. So be sure to create some partnerships with wedding planners, event planners, even real estate agents. Um, I've had a couple and we have formed a partnership. If I know someone looking for a house, I send them to Tashana. Tashana knows someone's looking for travel. She sends them my way. Financial advisors, hair salons, corporate HR departments, and don't forget your high schools. Everybody has a senior trip they're doing. Um, so utilize it. My logo was actually created by a young man that was coming from high school into Delaware State University when I worked there. So don't be afraid to tap into every resource because the potential is out there. We just got to tap into the source. So I wanted to give you some ideas about marketing. So this was what I used to do. I used to do Monday as only for inspirational posts. Tuesday was my travel tip. Wednesday was Water Wednesdays. Thursday, I did Tranquil Thursdays. And Friday, I did a client story. Selling Saturdays and Sunday was my promotion day. You do not have to utilize this. This is just an example of what I used to do. Now I'm doing motivation every day just because of what's going on around us in the world. And now I'm going to start I did Mexican Mondays. So I'll be starting that this week talking about food because I like to eat. So just, pick something and just work with it. I challenge you to do it for 7 straight days because after you do it for 7 days, it becomes secondhand. And then don't be afraid to schedule your posts. Or you can be crazy like me and do it at 3 o'clock in the morning. So you can expand your income by building a team. You know, we're leaving money on the table when you don't build a team. If you have people that's coming to you that's expressing interest, tap into it. Like I said, Nina and Tammy had to push me, but now I'm here and it's easy peasy. Travel sells itself. We sell recess. Make it fun. Just talk about the fun, talk about the perks. You don't have to do the work because we have a plethora of corporate trainings that you can plug them into. You have uplines if they cannot get on the corporate training that will arrange a time for you to get with that person to get them on board. So you'll have your leadership bonus income, you'll have business duplication, which is the easiest thing, and then you'll have some community growth. So you're going to recruit your team by sharing the opportunity, utilizing social media, post about the travel lifestyle, whether it's yours, the one that you want, or the one that your clients are saying that they want. And then have those business conversations when you're standing in the elevator talking, it's dead silence. You can say, "Hey, I am Lakisha. I'm a travel advisor. What do you do?" Like break the ice. 30-minute, 30-second elevator speech is all you need. And then be sure to plug into the various events and webinars. Because when you plug it in, you're tapping in and you'll learn something. Even though I started back in 2018, I still get on the new agent training. And sometimes I learn stuff. We're never too old to learn. So when you're qualifying your potential travel advisor, your potential team, make sure they have a passion for travel. Make sure they have a desire for the extra income and they're willing to learn because you can get some people on your team that is solely here for the perks. So that's the passion for travel. They're not doing the team building part yet because they're focusing on one, but you be sure to talk to them. I've have teammates that have been in the business just as long as I have, and some of them are still only doing it for the perks. And that is perfectly fine, but that is up to you to ensure that you know why they are joining your team. So when you train your team, it's very important for you to be a mentor to them. Don't get them here. We're not stacking bodies. We are building a family. I actually came from a different company. They were horrible compared to being a part of this team. There was no support. It was all about stacking bodies. And she was real transparent when she told me that. She's like, "Mo, I don't do the travel side. I'm just here to build. I'm just here to stack bodies." And I said, "Okay." So then I had to latch on to somebody else, but then I came over here and I love it. So successful leaders provide systems, marketing training, and they support their team. If you combine your client bookings with your social media experience, that will also help you build your team. I just want to thank you for plugging in tonight. And if you have any questions, feel free to unmute. And I'm going to go back and check out the comments. Dawkins, yes, the slides will be available on the YouTube channel within a week. Maggie stated some agents make packets for new homeowners, include local companies. Yes, very true. You're welcome. You're welcome. Welcome. You're welcome. Are there any questions, comments, or concerns?
I want to say that I really got a lot out of that. Some things I am doing, some things I have done that I forgot that I was doing that I want to bring back to the table as far as how I operate my business. And
Mhm.
I completely appreciate your time and all the information. Every bit of it is something we need to think about.
Yep.
Absolutely.
You got to go
Very
back to the beginning.
motivational. Very motivational. We see
Yes,
some
Bobby.
comments over here, people wanting to do, yeah, absolutely.
Every post that you post
Yes,
on
great
social media
information and great
should have a call
reminders.
to action. Everything that you post should have a call to action. I started posting in my eyes. I thought it was just crazy stuff, but I was like, name a trio group and you can't say the Stooges. I've had so many responses to that. It's mind blowing. I'm like, oh, I just did this to see if it would work. But now I'm like, okay, I'll include that after my affirmations. I do a daily affirmation every day, and now I'm going to start doing those type of posts. Name a place you want to travel that starts with the first letter of your middle name. You can do stuff like that just to get your engagement up. And you can go from there. Are there any other questions?
Okay, Trisha's asking how she gets started.
Trisha, unmute so we can understand by that. What do you mean? How did you get started? With which part?
Yeah, I'm interested in becoming a travel agent, but I'm not sure how to get started with it, with the
So
program.
who invited you to tonight's
I think it
training?
was Nina.
So Nina will follow up with you, send her a message, and she
Okay,
will follow up with you after the session.
I sure will. I got you. Okay, thank you.
I have
And
a
welcome
question.
aboard. I'm going to say welcome, and you will see you
Thank
tomorrow.
you. Okay, thank you.
If
I
I
have
may
a
say
question.
something.
Hey,
Okay.
Meg.
Hey, how are you? How's everybody doing?
Good, good.
So I just want to chime in for 1 second because I think the biggest thing is when we all starting or when we go into the next step or whatever else we decide to do next is we always try to stay in a comfort zone, and that's not what the growth is. So you have to be open-minded to put yourself out of your comfort zone to try new things and to see what works for you, because what works for one person might not necessarily work for somebody else, but you will not know until you actually try it.
Very true. And that's why I reference you with wellness. Be comfortable being uncomfortable.
Right. It's the comfort zone. If soon as you feel comfortable with something, you know it's time for you to go look for something else where you feel uncomfortable to look for your ways to whether find the clients, whether to how you present yourself, whether you need to change your pitch, whether you need to change maybe where you doing the pitch. Um, yeah.
Very true. Very true.
Hi, Lakisha. Can you hear me?
I sure can. Janice, how are you?
Good, good. Like you, I joined for the perks, right?
Mhm.
But like I want to be able to expand more. Um, and I'm not great at the social media part. And I know that would help me out a lot, like the Facebook, the Instagram. I'm a little nervous with the TikTok, but even with the Facebook or the Instagram, how do I sell my brand or myself? That like, how do I start?
First thing you need to do is introduce yourself. Let them know that you're an agent. My team, when they come in, I had a little script that I sent them. It was like introducing to some and reminding others that I'm a travel advisor. If you're looking to book, like flight, I spelled it all out and then I gave how they can contact me.
Okay.
If you text me, I can text it to you. My number is 302
Oh, you're Delaware.
Yep. Where are you from?
I'm Jersey.
Okay, right up the street.
Okay. 302
632
632.
6173.
Okay.
But that's the first thing you need to do is let them know that you're a travel advisor. And then the next thing you need to do, have you decided, have you picked a niche?
I I don't have a niche, but like what I am good at, I've been on the team for like 3 years, but and I do family. All of
Mhm.
my family comes to me, like close friends come to me. But I want to expand now. So I don't have a niche, but I'm pretty good at cruises, like or you know, all
So what you
inclusive.
can do with your family,
Mhm.
since you said majority of your business is family, you can ask them to provide you or refer you to two people that do
Okay,
not know who they use for as their travel agent.
okay,
You can even ask them, to meet up for coffee, tea,
okay,
or just do it like a Zoom party, just introducing yourself. Tap into your upline and ask them to be part of that Zoom party with you.
okay, okay, okay.
Are there any
I
other
think my
questions?
I think my upline is in and out. She comes in and out. So
So you can, I'll call you and then we can get you plugged in because
okay.
there's enough
Thank
of
you.
us success coaches that can help you get through this. Um, Nina is educating our young minds, so we will fill in the gap for her.
Okay, thank you.
Absolutely. And even if you don't have a sponsor, we'll make sure that you are connected with a success coach. Like, I don't have a sponsor and I haven't had one for 8 of the 10 years that I've been in this business.
I
So,
don't have one either.
nope, she
Okay.
doesn't have one either. So, but we have more than enough
And
people
I
who
don't either.
are.
Same.
Nope, you
Okay.
don't either. But we all have each other. So we are more than willing to help.
Thank you.
And I do have another idea for you, if I may. You live in New Jersey. Do you live in a neighborhood, or what kind of, like, do you live in a neighborhood that has, let's say, houses around you and stuff? Do you have neighbors?
I do. I do.
Do
Yeah.
you walk, do you take walks around your neighborhood?
Sometime in the summertime when it's warm. I do.
Right.
Yeah.
Put some cards in your pocket. When you see your neighbors, go and introduce yourself. Hey, I'm your neighbor from down the street. Just want to give you my card and let you know I'm a travel advisor. If you ever need help with anything, let me know.
Okay. That's simple. I didn't
30,
even think about
30
that.
second elevator speech.
Okay.
Prepare it. We all should have one.
Okay. Okay.
And if you say cruises to somebody, that's pretty much the first thing that everybody wants to know about, right, ladies?
Yeah, that's kind of becoming my niche here lately.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Any other questions, concerns, or comments?
I don't have any myself. Thank
All right, I don't see anything in the chat, so I want to thank you all for joining tonight. You have a great rest of the evening and have an even better Easter. Good night.
Good night.
you. Good night. Good
Thank you
night.
so much.